Hello out there. We're on the air. Sorry for having the odd camera view to start things off. We are still trying to get all of our ducks in a row for this semifinal action on sheets 3 and 4. Sheet 4 on sheet 3 on the left side is a contest between um, Team Maxie of Coyotes, Capital, and San Francisco, and Team Murray of Coyotes, and then and Murray has the hammer. We're going to do our best to make sure we have the information updated. I had to take an extra second to make sure that we had the scoreboard correct to start things off. And then we're going to drop in. We're going to do around the rings, kind of what you're seeing here, and then we'll try to drop into each game as we can. So sheet 3 is Maxie versus Murray. Murray has the hammer to start, and then on sheet 4 we have the contest between Team LeClair throwing the red rocks, taking on Team Siggins, and LeClair has the hammer to start. Okay, I think we got it set now. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're definitely going to make sure we do our best to provide the best coverage that we can of these two games. They're not on our feature sheet, so this is a slightly different presentation that we're doing, but hopefully it's going to work out for you guys. I'm going to be silent for just another moment while I bring on another piece of technology. So please enjoy this opening ends. Where on sheet 3, the left side, it looks like Maxie is sitting shot stone with Murray yellow in the back there. And then on sheet 4 on the right, um, it looks like Siggins is drawing in there. And we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so you can see the last piece of technology I brought onto the screen is the clocks, which you can't see from the this overhead view. So we'll definitely keep them on for this event. Happy to have you guys tune in. Uh, It's definitely going to be a fun game. Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy it. Um, kind of curious to see which game to maybe jump into. It looks like Murray on the left was going to try to draw on top of the Maxie blue and missed, unfortunately. So it looks like we are at Skip Stones. As we see Siggins on the right throw his first without the hammer here. So Siggins looks like he corner froze. Let's pop in on sheet 4 and see how that contest is going. That's sheet 4. Sorry. So we see Bob LeClair throwing his first with the hammer here in the first end. I think looking to I can smack that yellow on the nose and sit 2. This is going to be close to the guard. It's actually going to clip the guard and roll towards the center. So it looks like Siggins is sitting 1 right now. So looks like Mike Siggins is going to maybe draw around that center guard that Bob LeClair just put up. And this looks like it could be going a little deep. It's going to smack the yellow, roll to the side. And this could be dangerous for Siggins as Bob LeClair could hit that stone right in the crotch and score 3, it appears. So a pretty well end played by Siggins is turned into a chance for 3 by Bob LeClair into his rink out of the Coyotes Curling Club of Tempe, Arizona. Excuse me. So this is a contest between the 2 seed, which is Siggins, by virtue of finishing first in their pool and then second overall. They had a bye to this game, while LeClaire had to play a quarterfinal last night against Team Pomeroy, if memory serves me correctly. I can double check that. The second game is between Team Murray of Coyotes taking on Team Maxie. And so looking for a double here, 4-3. Oh, it's going to crash on the guard. It just overcurled. So opportunity missed as Team Siggins steals two to take a 2-0 lead into the second end. Let's shift back to around the rings, in part because the sheet 3 is also on its break. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them as this game progresses. I want to pop over to sheet 3 for a second just to see if they posted a score. Uh, there's no score posted. It could be a blank. And these scores are being posted to our live scoring site, not doubletakeout.com. It is bondspieler.com. And so no score. Oh, it looks like Maxie stole one in the first, according to bondspieler.com. As you can see there, bondspieler.com is our live scoring host. And so you can keep tabs on the game and also the results of the past draws and the standings from pool play, as we'll explain more as to how we got here. Um, so Rocks and Play, we're underway here in the second end. Again, we have Team Maxie and Murray on sheet 3, as I will update the score. Murray stole one. So Murray was the overall #1 seed, as we have some sort of drill or something going on outside. So, or a blade or sander or some sort. That's just bizarre. Don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast. Murray's drawn into the house and put up a center guard on sheet 4. Siggins drew in, and LeClair put up a corner guard. And it looks like LeClair is putting up a second guard. That crashes and rolls one towards the center, and then the other rolls to the wing. So how a team Murray and Maxie got into this semifinal is that one second, I'm pulling up my information. Murray got in by nature of finishing undefeated in pool play. They were the only team to go undefeated through pool play, which was either 4 or 3 games, depending on the size of the pool, we had 2 pools of 5 teams, and we had 1 pool of 4 teams. So Murray had a bye into the semifinal, and then Team Maxie had to face Team Feldman from one country, and Maxie prevailed fairly handily to punch their ticket to the semifinal. And so this is a 1-5 contest on sheet 3. On sheet 4, on the right side, Team Siggins was second overall in pool play and advanced to the semifinal with a bye. And then Bob LeClair, the number 3 team, faced the number 6 team, Pomeroy from Oval Curling in Dallas Fort Worth. LeClair, Pomeroy was scoring decently, but LeClair, when he had a chance to score, scored 4 twice to make it 8 to have 8 points on the board. I think he added 2 or so in the 7th end, and that was it. LeClair advanced to the contest. So on sheet 4, it is a 2-3 game. As I think we're going to pop into the Maxie Murray game, as there are a ton of rocks in play, and it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. So Maxie has the hammer, and Maxie is the champion of this event from 2 seasons ago. And on sheet 4, Siggins is the defending champion. So lots of rots in play. Maxie is setting up a pretty good opportunity as Michelle Rock goes down the way. I think looking just based on the weight, looking to put another one in, I believe. I think they wanted to maybe try and keep it higher because this gives Murray, I think, some potential outs here. And it looks like he just wants to kind of put one right there on the edge of the button. But because right now it's Maxie's hitting 1, actually, as I look at the rocks in the house, but there's a bunch of rocks in play, and that can change on a dime. We do have the clocks on screen. These games are timed. Time hasn't been too much of an issue during this event. I know Pomeroy liked to live dangerously and keep the clock close. Um, so this is a little up weight. I think gonna hit it right on the nose though. And it does, and it rolls towards the button just southeast of the pin, as it were. And so now Vice Michelle. Yeah, Michelle Wagner. I want to make sure I get the names right, folks. It's going to clear the guard. I think just Maxie's looking to, I think, just open things up to maximize their opportunity here in the second end. Let's shift back to around the reins where we can see that Siggins is sitting 2 now covered, and LeClair is drawing, or is trying to draw, and just has crashed on the guards there. And unfortunately, it does open things up. And I mean, I like to be able to see the players deliver the rocks. But I understand, Ben. We'll do our best to keep an eye on both here. I mean, also, I personally enjoy seeing people's faces close to head on as opposed to overhead. Uh, but your mileage might vary, as we'll stay with this for now. I appreciate the feedback. And Murray on the left drew in and tapped their second shot back. And so now Murray's sitting 2. So yellow rocks on both sheets are really pushing here in the second end. This is Michelle's last, I believe, looking to knock some rocks around on the left side. So clears one of the yellows, but Murray still sitting two. And then on sheet four, looks like Murray, sorry, looks like LeClair put one on top of the 12-foot. That doesn't help too much. So I think LeClair is struggling to find weight early in this game. And we are to skip stones on both sheets as Sean Murray gets set in the hack. Let's see here. So looking at four on the right, looks like for Siggins, they're just going to put up a guard on top of the row of rocks there that's lined up. And the shot on the left is coming down the way from Sean Murray, the skip of Team Murray. As Sean's been curling for 22 years, and that ends up as a center guard. And on sheet four, Mike Siggins put up a pretty decent guard, and so now LeClair is really looking to see what to do here. Definitely behind the eight ball here early in this match. On sheet three on the left, Fred Maxie is about to throw his rock. I think just based on where the broom is, looking to hit his blue and roll towards the pile, not peeling the guard. And Fred Maxie's rock is away on the right. Okay, so this is going to go on top of the yellows, kind of move them around and kind of pushes the one of the Murray shot stones to the back towards the 4-foot, and so it's now Murray sitting 1 and 3, and it appears that Maxie is sitting 2 and 4 and 5 around the 4-foot area. Ooh, on the right, this is just kind of crazy keeping track of all the different games. On the right, Maxie was able to draw and put one. I think he raised actually to make that shot. So looks like a really good shot there by Bob LeClair on the right side. Sean Murray on the left is about to push out a hack. I think just looking to close the door and preventing Maxie from raising that blue onto yellow. So the line is going to be super important on the left side here as we see Mike Siggins pushing out a hack. Oh, 2-2. So on sheet 3 on the left, the guard appears to be pretty well made. I was informed by our crew that the score on both sheets is 2-all. So I must have misread Bonspieler when it was on screen earlier. And oh my goodness, so many rocks in play, so much to see. Which is another reason why we try to have a focus view so that the viewer can have a better way to enjoy the game. But this is fine. As we see Fred Massey push out a hack here. I think this, oh, he's throwing it away. And so that is going to be a steal of 1 for Murray on sheet 3. And Massey carries a hammer to the third end. And so while they're on their break, let's shift to 4, just because they're going to be in focus for another minute. Bob LeClair's last rock is away. Trying to raise again. They're sitting 1 right now. This is why they pay Bob the big bucks. Always trying. It over curled on him, I think. So it's just a single point for Bob LeClair as they head into the third end. So we will pause for a moment and we'll return with our coverage from the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And as throughout this entire weekend, coverage has been brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Doubletakeout.com is your source for curling stats. Throughout the curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the numbers, crunches the figures, and comes up with what he calls the world's best curling ranking system. You can see how your favorite team compares against teams from around the world. That's all at doubletakeout.com. I'm going to pause for a second, but you can definitely see the action as we continue with our contests. Some pretty good semifinal action happening right now, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we are back to our ongoing coverage of the semifinals, around the rings coverage of the houses, or the rings, as it were. Some pretty interesting games so far. LeClair's faced a lot of rocks and was able to kind of squeeze in there in that last end to get a single point. Siggins has the hammer here in the third on the right side. Looking to the left side, Murray has just been kind of piling rocks in, and Maxie's had some opportunities, but it's been tough sledding for the Maxie ring. As it looks like Murray on the left here is going to hit and roll, perhaps, if it gets over there. It does get over enough. The shooter's going to roll through the house out of play. And I think that was, well, I don't want to guess who that player was. On the right, Jeff Baird is about to push out a hack, looking to hit and roll. LeClair keeping a pretty clean sheet here. And manages the hits, doesn't, just noses it, so it sticks around. So LeClair is playing a pretty solid curling defense. On the left sheet, Maxie put up a corner guard, a pretty high corner guard. as we see for Team Siggins, Sean Franey the second from Denver Curling, throw his rock, looking I think to hit and probably roll, I would guess, towards the center. It's going to be close to a nose hit. And so it looks like Murray's going to clear the guard. The 5 rock rule off on, I believe, both sheets now. Jeff is throwing his second here. Going to be probably another hit and roll. And looks like for Team Maxie, we have Michelle Wagner out of Capital Curling from the Dakotas. And then on the right sheets, LeClair was able to do the hit and roll as his shooter from Baird settles into the back 12-foot. Michelle's draw around the corner guard looks pretty good. Needs to probably be buried a little bit more. It's going to be just partially buried, settling in at the Liga part of La Liga Latina de Curling. So for Team Murray, I believe this is going to be Steph Larson's shots, but we'll find out. It could also be, I don't think Brandon's turn is, I think it's Steph's turn. And that's Steph. So looks like Steph is going to try and hit and roll. Or you can just nose to really kind of keep some separation on those stones on the left. Around that guard by a sliver, a slight roll towards the center. So it does set up a double. And then they're keeping the house clean on the right side. So definitely the left sheet is kind of the focus for this end. So I think Maxie's asking Wagner to hit those 2 yellows and get rid of them both, ideally. Even if, well, I just hit the one nose on. Okay, it was close. The shooter does roll undercover, so that may have been the one of the actual outcomes that they were going for. And this draw from Team Siggins on the right is settling into the back 12-foot. And so I would think LeClair's going to make a play on it. Looking towards a blank end here on the right, as on the left. Steph Larson cleared the guard there. And that takeout by LeClair's vice, Luba Brock, succeeds in clearing the stone in the house. But the shooter rolls away, so now Citizens third, Claire Blasky, I think just has an open house to draw to, although Siggins is coming out, I think looking to maybe help. With the guard cleared on the left, it looks like Maxie is having Michelle hit the yellow out. I think they wanted to stick around, so that would be kind of a miss, unfortunately, for Maxie's rink. And I do believe we're on skip stones on both sheets. As Sean Murray makes his way down the way. Sean's been curling for 22 years. the men's club national champion of 2022, has 11 mixed national championship appearances. And also we saw LeClair push out a hat. And looks like the hit was made. LeClair sitting one right now, but the blank definitely seems to be on sheet 4, the right. Sheet 3 on the left. Maria's hit and roll is made, and so now Maxie is going to try to find some way to capitalize on the situation. Uh, Kind of behind the 8 ball again, facing 2. With the first of 2 skip stones, I think he just wants to maybe clean things up. Maybe try to carry a blank to the 4th end. We're playing up to 8 ends of regulation. And on the right, Siggins is hit and roll is going to roll to the wing, going to stick around. So Siggins is probably going to put a broom on that. As Fred Maxie's shot goes underway. Fred Maxie, 8-time mixed nationals participant, and won the whole shebang in 2016. Looking for a hit. I think he wants to stick around. It's going to roll away. I think he would want to stick around. Bob LeClair's last coming now. Bob LeClair, one of the seasoned players from Coyotes, began his curling career in Ontario, Canada. Was at the 1993 Canadian Brier. He's going to hit and roll and go to the back of the 8-foot. And so now the blank is definitely on sheet 4, the right, with Mike Siggins having the last rock, the last say in this 3rd end. Mike Siggins, the skip is so old, he lived off of the 3 footlongs for $9.99 in college from Subway, and he hasn't tried it since. And here's Sean's last coming. So on sheet 4, the blank is successfully made, and it looks like Murray ended up with a guard, and so Fred Maxie is going to hit. I think try to blank. Choosy mother's blank. I don't know. So Siggins carries a hammer to the 4th end. At the 4th end, we will be taking a 5-minute break. Looks like both teams are going to kind of end up at around the same time, so that works out great for me. And here is the last rock coming from Fred Maxie as his shot's away. Dan Baresh is sweeping it. Needs to make sure it's around the guard. It does. It's going to hit and roll through the house. And so the blank was successfully made. Both teams blanked this 3rd end. And so we'll shift back to around the rings, and we'll be back in just a moment. Excuse me about that. I thought I had the mic off. All right, shifting focus briefly to the LeClair Siggins game while we wait for the other sheet to get started. The lead for LeClair. Let me make sure my name's right. Tracy Drummond threw into the house. And then the lead for Siggins, who is Brianna Weldon, is throwing a takeout, hits and rolls to the wing, going to be out of play. Brianna doesn't like sandwiches, will only eat at Subway in Wall, South Dakota, out of desperation. Tracy's getting set for her next shots. She was on the 2020 MoPac Mixed Championship playing second for Team Baird. Been on several teams that have fought hard for both mixed playdown and MoPac women's playdowns. Also been to the U.S. Women's Curling Association, National Bonspiel, and a whole bunch more. That's her shot. I think they're looking to put up a guard this time. Try to maybe shift away from that takeout game that developed in that last end. So on Murray's sheet, gonna just focus there briefly to chat about the players. We have Kimber Maroney lead throwing her second rock for Team Murray, curling for 6 years. Was the C event winner at the 2020 5 and Under National Championship. Was also the 2022 Pacific Northwest Curling Association 5 and Under champion, and was a part of a team that scored a 8-ender in 2019. And this shot is going to be a guard, not guarding much from this view. And I think it looks like Max is going to ask second throwing first stones today, Dan Baresh. Um, this is mixed fours, and so there would be a fourth, but unfortunately, uh, Gabrielle Coleman was unable to make this event, so they're playing as a trio as Dan's rock goes down the ice. And Dan notes that the pinnacle of his curling experience is having traveled over 86,000 miles to Bonspiels with Michelle Wagner. They were very much a traveling curling duo, as that settles in actually in the top 8 foot. So let's go back to around the rings. And we are seeing second rocks coming from Team Murray. And that would be Brandon Ellison, who's been playing for 6 years. Was also at the 2020 5 and Under National Championship finishing third. Ooh, look at that missile on the right. Threw some heat there by Team Siggins. I imagine that was from Sean Franey the second. As we see Jeff Baird for Team LeClair set. He was the skip of the 2020 MoPac Mixed Championship team. Also was part of the men's club MoPac champion, playing second for Team LeClair. Now we're seeing Dan Baresh delivering his third rock here on the left side. And it looks like something might be cooking for LeClair on this right side as the draw to the top of the house is made. I think Siggins is going to take that on, especially with the weight that Sean Franey can throw. And we have some staggered rocks in a line on the left side. This is like broadcasting like a parade. I've never broadcast a parade, but when you hear them talk about it on TV, it's like, oh, here's a marching band. Now here's a float. Here's now a classic car from an auto dealership and stuff. Definitely a lot going on. It's fun to see. So the hit on the top red is made. The shooter's going to roll to the wing. And then Brandon's second stone, I believe, is settling in after just flipping the blue there. So an odd trio of rocks. I don't think the angles really favor Maxie. who's looking to score here in this fourth end. So he's, I think, opting to clear the guard and maybe try to clear some stuff up, create an opportunity. For LeClair, this is a Luba Brock's first rock, and that's going to flash. Unfortunately, it didn't get back over. So Michelle Wagner does clear the guard, but that's all that happens on that sheet. As you see, third rock's coming from Claire Blasky on the right sheet. Claire Blasky likes Subway. That is the theme of the fun facts from Siggins. They had sandwich fun facts and their favorite Oakland Zoo animal as the hit and roll is made, splitting the rings. This is Steph Larson's first, I believe. Maybe second. Steph Larson's been curling for 25, 30 years. Her accomplishments include winning the mixed nationals in 2015. This is going to chip off of the blue into the pile. Oh, goodness. Pretty interesting scenario developing for Maxie here on the left, sheet 3. As on the right side, we see Luba deliver her second stone. She started curling in Canada for high school, and then for the University of Western Ontario's women's team out of London, Ontario. Definitely has had a long journey, and this stone looks pretty good. It clears the outer yellow and rolls toward the yellow on the right. It's shot. I think they wanted to freeze it right on top, and it actually just wraps behind. So a slight off there. On the right, so Michelle taps one of the guards to open up the center. It's looking better for Maxie, but still, I don't think the ankles are quite there. And so it looks like Murray might try to blow things up in the center or put up a center guard, which makes sense. I think he was worried if so I say they're looking better for Maxie because he can get rid of one of the yellows at this point. He can't get rid of both. As Claire makes her second shot. Her favorite Oakland Zoo animal is the gray wolf. And Claire's stone here. I think they wanted to just tap the red back, and it looks pretty close. I think it's actually going to hit the yellow first, and it rolls. Siggins has the hammer this end, so it's starting to look a little dicey for LeClair on the right. Siggins might be developing a situation here. On the left, Murray's shot to guard goes a little deep. And so now Maxie's going to take that on, trying to get both of those top yellows moving. Let's see what Michelle can do here. So they're going to get one moving. Oh, got the one in the back to go to the back 8. Wow. That was a pretty good shot, a great shot by Michelle Wagner. It is now Maxie sitting at least one buried. There's a second shot there's a second Maxie stone that I believe is second shot, but it could be that Murray stone in the back that is second. On the right, okay, the situation is looking better for LeClair now. LeClair clears one of the Siggins yellow rocks and rolls on top of the yellow, corner frozen. So that red is pretty locked on. I'm not going to say it's impossible to remove, but I think to try and move that red is going to unlock the yellow. So it's going to be tricky for Siggins to score 2 points. from that area. Siggins is throwing a lot of heat. I mean, Murray is throwing a lot of heat. We have 4 teams on the ice looking for hits. I think they want it to roll, but it's gonna. Oh. I thought there was a chance it could clip that yellow in the back, but Steph Larson stopped the stone, so she thought it wasn't going to make contact. And Maxie didn't raise any objections, so I guess everything's all square. So Siggins is throwing, I imagine, a decent amount of weight at this. Looks to be controlled and normal. I think it's going to unlock the red, but that's all. So Siggins can still score 2 here, depending on what LeClair does with his last. I think he's looking to maybe just freeze it on top and really force Siggins for a single, as we see Fred Maxie slide out of the hack. I think looking to hit and roll. Just going to hit on the outside. It might hit the one in the back. It does. It jams. And so it is now Maxie sitting 1 and 4 or 5. And Murray is sitting 2, 3, and I believe 4. So a lot of looking at the angles here on both sheets. It's really fascinating to kind of see both teams try to work out what the best angle could be um, for Team LeClair. I think they're worried about hitting the yellow into the reds, or they want to maybe prevent Siggins from having that shot and then basically blowing up the reds to score multiple points that way. For Murray on the left, as he's about to take a shot, I think they want to hit and roll, maybe do the double, just based on kind of the weight they're throwing. So it's going to hit, it's going to roll, it rolls on top of the blue, taps the blue towards the 4-foot. So Maxie has a chance to score 2 here to take to close the gap heading into the halftime break. On sheet 4 on the right, looks like we have the hits. I think it's going to go into the pile. Okay, so after a lot of that discussion, Siggins has a nose hit for 2. There's not going to be a hit for 3, which is, I think, a saving grace for Team LeClair. Mike Siggins' favorite Oakland Zoo animal is the jaguar, 100% beauty and power. And on sheet 3 on the left, Fred Maxie pushes out a hack. Fred Maxie was a 2022 USA Senior Champion, drawing for 2. So it looks like he was trying to go to the one in the back. This is not coming back, I think. Well, it's coming back now. Wow. Okay, so taps the Murray Stone back for that second point. And they'll go into the halftime break down 3-2. And then on sheet 4, Mike Siggins successfully does the hits and stick for 2. So both teams convert the hammer here in the 4th end. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with our ongoing coverage from the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And just another reminder that today's event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. You guys knew what I was going to say. Doubletakeout.com is a curling stat geeks haven. Visitors to the site can check out the standings updated throughout the curling season by proprietor Ken Pomeroy. You can see how your favorite team stats against the top teams around the world, all at doubletakeout.com. So we'll be back in just a moment when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Mitch Playdowns. Rocks in play. We are underway with the fifth end of our semifinal coverage from the 2024 MoPac Mitts Playdowns, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club in Oakland, just steps away from the Oakland International Airport. Both teams have thrown their first stones at the end. It's shaping up to be a pretty good battle between the squads. On sheet 3 on the left side, we have Team Maxie taking on Team Murray, the 1 seed in the overall event. After pool play, Murray jumped up to 3-0 lead, but Maxie was able to secure a deuce in the 4th to close the gap. On sheet 4 to our right, we have Team LeClair facing off against the number 2 seed, Siggins. Siggins has been pretty firmly in control of the game so far. LeClair's had some opportunities, but then Siggins has been on was able to just capitalize on the opportunities more than LeClair. Siggins up 4-1. The winners of both of these games will come together for the final. This is going to be about 12:20 today Pacific time. The time varies because they have their practices before the game. They've been doing their draw shot challenge, which takes a little bit more time. So I'll say about 12:25. I just want to be a little early because I've been caught off guard before. And for Team Siggins on the right side, Brianna Weldon throws a good takeout there, and it's Siggins sitting 2. LeClair, I think, is looking to figure how to maybe generate some offense, or maybe I think they're going to hit the yellow as a Tracy shot is underway. On the Murray Maxie sheets, we have kind of like a textbook end developing as Maxie without the hammer puts up 2 center guards, and Murray draws around to really kind of, I think, amp up the pressure on Maxie. Dan Baresh's rock goes down the way. And so on the right, Claire had Tracy put up a corner guard. It's pretty high, as Sean Franey is going to, I believe, draw around before LeClair can get there. It's Brandon's rock coming on the left. Okay, that was a draw on the right. Kind of surprised me a little bit. But again, that just kind of amps up the pressure on LeClair to try to set up a multiple point score. Calling for backline weights. And then Brandon's rock on the left hits the blue in the house, and the shooter rolls to the top 4 foot. Yeah, it creates a little bit of a pocket, but I don't, like Maxie's going to try and draw it into the top of that pocket. Seeing a little upweight shot on the right here, just enough to get the yellow back. Creates kind of a back stop there. Pretty good gentle weight hits. Sometimes you don't need to throw a missile to have a positive outcome. And this rock on the left is sailing. It's going to go through the back 12 and park on the edge of the rings. I definitely think that would be a miss. So some weight was thrown by Siggins' ring. Does clear one of the Siggins yellows, but misses the red, which I think was the goal. So LeClair wants to draw on top of the yellow perhaps, or maybe split the rings. They could get 2 points here still fairly easily. I say fairly easily, because those two yellows are in the back of the house. He could split the rings. He could again maybe draw on top of the yellow there. Um, but I think if he puts the stone, I think they're going to go for the draw on top of the yellow as Jeff Baird gets sets. And on the left, goodness, Murray's knocking on the door with the hammer here in the fifth end as Michelle Wagner delivers her shot. I think Maxie's kind of on cleanup duty here. So on the right, I think the draw on top of the yellow is coming up a little light. It's a great draw to the button, but that's not what they needed. There's a double there, a pretty straightforward double in both the Siggins and his device. Brianna wasted no time lining that shot up. On the left, the draw to the forefoot by Maxie has cut Murray down to two potential scoring points. Oh goodness. That shot was wide on the right. And that's been a couple times we've seen some flashes on the wings by both, well, by all the squads. And so now there's a bit of a pile for LeClair. I think he was maybe looking to just kind of create a cluster. Maybe I've done that before, where you create like a whole bunching of rocks and basically kind of challenging the other team to get rid of them all. And then there's also that potential jam. So I think they're looking to line up to have like a cluster and then make it hard to remove all the stones. If they do move the stones, lead to a possible jam. On sheet 3 on the left, we have a draw. I think that's from Steph Larson. And that just draws, taking away a potential Maxie raise to get into scoring position. It looks like it may be over curled for Murray's purposes. And so now on LeClair Siggins, looks like they're going to create that pile. This looks a little up, so it's going to tap. There's not going to be the cluster that I was thinking. It's actually going to hit a little, like a couple inches towards the center. And then on the left here, ooh, this looks really good by Michelle. It's going to tap, and oh, it rubs off of the yellow. Yesterday, my vision was a little blurry on the right side of the screen. Now my vision's a little blurry on the left. It's the same view. I don't know if the lens needs to be cleaner or what. It's great that we have this technology, by the way. I think it is Maxie hitting shot on the button, but it might come down to a measure. And then on sheet 4, the double takeout was made by Claire Blasky. Blasky blasts it. And so looks like LeClair's looking for a hit and roll. Some very interesting situations developing in very different ways. LeClair has a hammer on the right as Luva throws her last stone. So I think they were initially looking to hit and roll. It does make contact, but then the doubles there again just hits it on the outside. I believe is what they want to do. They are worried about the jam. I mean, I think that they really wanted to avoid. Okay, so I was thinking there's a couple different ways to get at it. as Sean Murray has the broom down to peel the guards. Situation's not looking really great for Murray to score multiple points here. So Steph Larson's moved through a huge missile at it. Clears one of the guards, and so now Max is looking to try that raise again. Definitely make sure that their shots and push that second blue closer than some of the other yellows. And Mike Siggins is about to throw a takeout here on the right. Let's see if it's on target. This looks like it's going to hit it solidly. No jam. And just like that, LeClair was sitting two in pretty good shape, but just a couple stones ago. And with a couple good takeouts, now it is Siggins sitting two without the hammer here in the fifth. So Michelle Wagner is throwing her last, I believe. As both skips on each sheet throw their first stone. So I think they were hoping for a double on, doubles made on the right. Good shot by Bob LeClair. The raise on the left does not happen, and the shooter hits the guard, rolls wide. And so now, what does Sean Murray do on the left? On the right, the strategy is, I think, pretty simple. I think they want to nose hits the red, the LeClair red, stick around, and then force LeClair to make a shot to blank the end, carry the hammer to the sixth. On the left sheet, that is where all the thinking is going to go for the next couple minutes. I think they're going to try and double out those Maxie blues. So the hit looks like it's going to roll wide and out of play. And so I don't think LeClair is going to try to draw for a single point. They're going to blink the end. I will bet you 25,000 quatlus, which is a fictional currency from Star Trek that has no real value. 25,000 quatlus are on the line for the blank here on the right. On the left, we're going to see if Sean Murray can do a double of his own. Wow. It clips the blue guard rock and then redirects to make the double. It is Murray sitting five. I don't think he can do it any better than that. My goodness. That's why the skips are in the big dollars. So this is Maxie's last rock at the end without the hammer. Let's shift our focus while we can to see how sheet three is going to pan out. Looking to, I think, just sit, I think draw around perhaps all those center rocks. If it crashes on that yellow on the right and rolls towards the center, that's not too bad either. They just need to find a place to put the rock where a Murray can't get it out and score those 5 points that are currently in the house. So the hit and roll is the call here. You're going to hit, it's going to roll towards the button. And wow, Sean Murray brings the heat, and Maxie brings the soft touch there with that nice draw to tap and roll towards the button for a single right now. And now, so Sean Murray needs to see how he can get access to that blue. I think he could maybe do um, like a heavy draw, like he did maybe back line to tap the blue to the back 8 foot to score 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, 4 or 5 is not as much as 6 numerically, but it's still pretty darn good. While Sean Murray gets set for his shot, just a reminder that the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club is holding a vaccination clinic today. So while he takes his shots, uh, you can get your shot if you come down to the club today between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. I'll have some more information in just a moment as we as we see Sean get set. Heavy draw, looking to tap that blue back for a multiple point score. Sean Murray with the last rock here in the fifth. Sweepers are called off, and I think well, Steph is keeping an eye on it as Sean turns his back to go back to the house or to the steps. It doesn't come back enough. That's going to be a steal of one. So Maxie with a soft touch steals the fifth and will tie the game. So it's been a great game so far on both sheets. Uh, let's shift our vision. Um, shift our vision to 4. As I update the score. Um, 1 second. Oh yes, LeClair blanked that in. So we are in the sixth end. Rocks in play. So we are seeing, I think Sean's first stone come down the way. I think they were looking to corner freeze on that red, and it's not going to get there. And now we have Jeff Baird pushing on a hack. I think looking to hit and nose the yellow. They don't want to hit it in jam, or they're drawing. So it actually clips the guard and redirects towards the center pile. So Siggins will have another chance to hit out the red that's in the house. Although Siggins is sitting 2 right now. He also could be looking to tap back that yellow that his broom's next to. That seems to be the shot for Sean Franny's second. By the way, the San Francisco club upgraded their microphones in the past season, and the microphones are on sheets 2 and 4, and this is sheet 4, so we can hear them talk a little more clearly. And I think they're looking to draw around, maybe, but it's going to be on the center guard and then roll towards the right. So interesting scenario building there. Let's shift back to our OmniView 5300. So the vaccination clinic again is at the club today from 11 to 5 p.m. For flu and COVID. There's no charge for these vaccines. However, if you have Medicare or private insurance, you're asked to please bring your insurance card for authorization on eligibility and coverage. This event is brought to you by the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, MoPac, USA Curling, and Coaching You Up, KO, Flu, and COVID, which is KO for knockouts. And this Murray stone goes through the house out of play. Have a messy, messy house on the right. So it's Claire Blasty's turn. I think she's looking to clear some of these guards on the right. And on the left, it looks like Murray is going to clear out that Maxie blue, that shot stone. Keep a very open house. That turned into a guard. My apologies on the call on the right. And then the takeout's made on the left. The shooter's going to roll to the wings out of play, hitting the boards. There are 4 sheets that have actual boards on them by the nature of either having a wall or the center walkway. And so 3 is one of those sheets. Luba's throwing a pistol here on the right. I think looking to double out the, at least clear the guard and maybe get a double. Based on where LeClair had the broom, I don't think that was a shot. Maxie puts up a center guard by his vice, Michelle Wagner. So it looks like Siggins is sitting 2 right now, looking to secure the advantage with Claire's last here on the right in the 6th end. Murray, I think, is just looking to clear the guard here. I think maybe it's looking like it'll be a blank here on this left sheet number 3. Oh, he's drawing around. I would say psych, but I psyched myself out. Gonna settle in the back of the forefoot. So this is going to be a tight guard on the right here. LeClair has the hammer, but he is facing 2 Siggins counters in the house. On the left side, I think Maxie is just going to try to hit this yellow out, maybe roll towards the center, but getting that yellow gone is the goal. Although he's jumping up to help. This is coming up light. And Maxie calls Stan off from sweeping duties. Luba's going to try a different turn, or a different line this time, a different type of shot. I think going for the draw. That's going to crash on the guard. Switch off of it. Opens things up. So there's still a draw for LeClair to score 1, but just as the door opens, Siggins is going to try to close it. Murray is in pretty good shape here, so the blank is, I think, off, barring a huge change in circumstance, as Murray's range is going to put another yellow into the top of the forefoot. Things are shaping up pretty good there for Team Murray. both sheets are doing fairly well on time. They have 30 minutes each team to play 8 ends of regulation. That's about 3.5 minutes an end. So with 2.5 ends to go, they're both in good shape. So Maxie is drawing around. This shot is a lot better than Michelle's last, but it's going to settle on top of the Murray stone and be third shot. On the right, the guards looks like it's made, although it is looks really good. I think it could have been a little wider. It does give LeClair a draw to the outer edge of the 4-foot ring there. Kind of, it just needs to be full 8 foot to count. And I think that shot is there on the right. Shifting to the left, doing the hokey pokey. We're going to turn ourselves around because that's what it's all about. So Murray's just going to draw on top of the pilots developing in the house. Have a condo line of curling stones. um, Maxie could try to take that on. The draw on the right was tight. It opens the door again, and I think now Siggins is going to come into the house and really block off LeClair's chance to score a single here in the sixth. There are so many rocks in play on the right side. There's 13 of 14 rocks that have been played in this end that are still in play. So only one rock has been parked, and I can see that on the bottom right-hand side, just below the panda. A very, very messy sheet. As on the left, Fred Matz is going to try to peel the guards, maybe get a little lucky, and run the blue back onto yellow. Do some yellow, blue, yellow, yellow. It's a wide though. Oh, does get the redirect. Interesting outcome there. Two of the blues, three of the blues go away. It's actually for Murray. If they tap that out and sit, they're sitting four, and then Maxie can't get rid of them all, and I think would be forced to give up two, maybe three. That's kind of where they had the broom position. So on sheet 4 to the right, we have 14 of the 15 stones played so far still on the sheets. Count them up. Yeah, 14. Crazy. You usually see sheets that messy at arena clubs where teams play on hockey ice, where we share the facility with figure skaters, speed skaters, hockey players, broom ballers, and more. Broom ballians. So coming to last rocks, Rob LeClair is going first. I don't know if he's going to try a shot. I think he's trying to go through a port to maybe raise. Yes, he is. He's going to the port to hit the yellow on the red. It's not there, and it runs the danger, and danger is there of running that yellow back into scoring. So that is going to be a steal of 3 by Siggins on sheet 3 here. Oh my goodness. So there's a bit of an out for Maxie as we'll shift our focus to that sheet for the remainder of this end. I say sheet 3. Oh, they called their timeout. They're on the sheet that doesn't have the mics, but let's turn up the noise to see if we can hear it. Oh, actually, this might be the best one. Okay, I can't quite hear them. So for Maxie, as we keep our focus on this crucial shot here, this could really break open the game for Murray if Maxie doesn't get this shot right on the money. I think tapping the blue up to the edge of the button there, kind of where Dan pointed is the shots. I don't really see any other great options. He could try if he's willing to concede three, which I wouldn't. He could draw to the 4 foot on the right, but that's not great. I think he could cut Murray down to one by doing that tap and roll. Um, if he gets a little bit of a bump off of the yellow, he could spin for a second shot, and then Murray would have a draw for two. I don't know what people in the YouTube comments might be thinking. I always appreciate their feedback on a sheet for Siggins is going into I say victory formation. There's still two ends to play, but they're throwing through the house at this point. And LeClair put up a corner guard. I think they're going to try and draw in, I believe. So the decisions made on our focus sheets right now. I think just trying to find the best uh, angle and line for this crucial shots. It can't overcurl. I think they can miss it wide. I think that's the miss, and I think they're throwing a little up weight. So I think they might be trying to throw hack to hit the blue with a little bit more force than I was thinking, to push the yellow back and to be shot. So Dan's on it. I think trying to push it. This looks really close. It needs to curl just a smidge more. It's one. Oh, and it pretty much noses it. So now Murray has a couple approaches. They're looking at the yellow, yellow, blue rays, um, and that's the shot they've chosen. I was thinking they could try to like kind of side swipe it on the left, but that I think has a pretty high risk of jamming, which is why Sean's not taking it on. So this is going to be a chance for four to again really open up the game, as both games have been really fairly close so far. But Siggins was able to steal three in that last end on the other sheets, and this is a chance for four here with Sean Murray's last rock with the hammer here in the sixth end. Boom, boom, boom. One of the yellows rolls to the back 12, so it is a score of 3. And so Murray is going to take a 6-3 lead into the 7th end. We're going to pause for a second as you watch the the Around the Rings coverage. We'll be back in just a minute when we return to the 2024 MoPac Midst Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, right across. Storm. Storm.
Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the semifinals from the 2024 Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Again, a huge thank you to the volunteers from the club and from the teams for helping to accommodate this event. We had 14 teams in the field, one of the largest fields in the country. One of the teams from today's final will advance to the national championships. Although given the number of teams in the field, we might hit a second team. We have to see how that shakes out. At Arena Nationals, at the Mixed Nationals, the winner of that event will go to the Mixed World Championships. So there's a lot on the line for these teams, a lot to play for as we keep an eye on both sheets. Kind of looking at sheet 4 on the right, looks like successful takeout was made on the left side there by Siggins is, I'm going to guess, third. And I think that would be Claire. As Luba Brock the third for LeClair gets set. So LeClair's just trying to find places to put rocks that are hard for Siggins to get at. Hasn't had too much success so far in the stands. It looks like, given the scoreboard, I wonder if Siggins would try to take that on. As we are to skip stones just like that on sheet 4. Looking at sheet 3 to the left, it looks like Maxie drew around the corner guard. Looks partially buried from here. Also looks partially blurry from here. And indeed, it looks like Mike Siggins is going to take on that LeClair red that was just put into the house. If it clears the guard, that's not the end of the world. Actually helps Siggins. So Murray's drawing in, going to settle in on the top of the 4 foot. And this takeout attempt by Siggins is going to clear the guard. So LeClair has a chance to score at least 2 points here. He's going to try for 3. By drawing against the yellows. and that way Siggins can only get rid of probably one if the shot is made, and so then it would set up. It would still set up two. So I think the call is to draw into the pile. Yes. And then on the left, Murray's team is drawing, I think, to put up a guard. This shot is light, so the advantage has been lost by LeClair. Siggins will hit this out and be sitting three. LeClair will have a draw for one and be down five going into the final end. We're going to shift our focus to the LeClair Siggins sheet. Just to kind of catch the last moments of this end, which could also be the last moments of this game. So Mike Siggins gets set, looking for a takeout. He doesn't need to stick around. He just needs to get that red out of the rings. It will stick around. I heard that was his fastest one yet. They've been throwing high heat on the Siggins squad. I haven't seen I haven't seen Brianna necessarily throw heat, but Sean and Claire and Mike, we've seen some heaters from both teams, or from all three of those players. So this is Bob LeClair, the last rock here of the seventh end, down six, facing three, drawing for one. I think just going to hit and roll towards the center for that single point. It's going to hit. It's going to roll towards the wing. I would give them the point, perhaps, but they also might do a measure. And so, like I said, I would probably give them the point because it's handshakes. Bob and Brianna exchange pleasantries with their fingers, their extended fingers. So hard-fought contest, but Larry just couldn't find an edge against Team Siggins, and so the defending champions punched their ticket to the 12-20 finals, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club and the MoPac YouTube channel. So now with just one game on the ice, we will shift our focus entirely to the contest between Maxie and Murray. Maxie has the hammer, down three, and facing two Murray rocks in the house. And again, thank you to everyone tuning in. Definitely appreciate your feedback and advice. Just also kind of encouraged me to stick to the around the rings focus, which worked out. I think it's easier to keep track of two games as opposed to five games on the ice. And when we come to the final, we'll be focused on just a single game, which is really nice. So Murray is drawing in. And when I mentioned that I have a vision problem on the left side, it's now back on the right side. So Max is going to try and blow open or blast open a path to the house with Michelle Wagner's last, I believe. This isn't quite seeing 14 of 16 stones in play, but this is pretty messy as well. Could be the double. Oh, almost a triple. That was a really great shot by Michelle. Opened things up a bit. Also pushed two of the yellows out of the way, out of the house entirely, which is a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Also pushed the remaining yellow to the back 8 foot. So now Maxie on the right is sitting shot. And with 2 or 3 stones to go, I would say 2 stones as Sean has his gripper off and is lining up a shot with Steph Larson. They are calling their timeout. And this is sheet 3. So this is the sheet that we can't quite hear what they're saying. Although there's no other sheets on or no other games on the ice. Let's tune in. So the discussion's over, and we were able to hear it that time. At least I hope you guys were. So Murray's concerned that Max is going to tap that blue on the left all day, he said. And they were looking at the right side, but as he noted, they haven't been on that side all day or throughout the game. And so, I mean, there's the draw there is possible, but they liked the draw on the left side, which is the ultimate shot, wanting to be a shot. They talked about maybe blocking the run back, but he I think wants to be shot after this delivery here. So a pretty interesting timeout there by Sean Murray and his rink as his delivery is away. This looks pretty close, actually. They're digging in. They want to be. They were looking, I think, for a full 8 foot, maybe biting the 4 foot. Excuse me, ends up high. And so now there's a couple options now for Maxi to get into the house. There's that there's that run back that was there, that Maxi could take all day, as Murray indicated, and then maybe hitting and rolling into the house. That's kind of dangerous. I think they're trying to tap, but it's more of a draw tap. So people who are new to curling may not know there's two main types of shots that we use in the sport. One is called a draw, which is any shot with the weight or energy to end up in the garden zone or the house itself. And then there is a takeout, which is any sort of shot that is with enough weight or energy to get another stone out of play. And so he doesn't want the blue to be out of play. So this is a heavy draw. So looking for a heavy draw, looking to raise that blue to the 4 foot. This looks pretty close, maybe a little heavy. It's over curling slightly. It's going to settle in the back as Steph Larson takes it to the back 12, where it is third shot. So that is a slight miss there by Fred Maxey. So we have some people in the warm room looking at the monitor. So one of the interesting notes about the semifinals is that I think to make sure that neither team has an undue advantage with the final, which is on our feature sheet 2. Um, they've chosen to put the semifinals on sheets 3 and 4, which is why we are doing this alternate type of broadcast, which I think worked out pretty well. Thank you guys for tuning in. But that's also why we have kind of some of these angles that are not, well, we would consider the ultra lux superb view. All right, looking to, I think, tap their own yellow back. It's kind of interesting to see how each team holds their broom for these types of hits and takeouts, and also heavy draws. I believe this is a heavy draw. Looking to tap the yellow back to the button. This is hanging out a bit. Is it going to actually hit the blue? It is not. So now Fred Maxey is sitting one. And what is the best way for Team Maxi to capitalize its advantage? They're looking to line up that angle run back, angle raise again. Um, the last time it overcurled on them slightly, and this time they want it to overcurl a little bit. I say overcurl. They want it to hit it close to center or just right of center. Um, they don't want to hit it left of center because it could jam on the yellow that is right next to that blue stone. So this is he's going to throw more weight at this, wants to hit it close to nose, and this is going to be for 3, I believe. If he hits the blue onto yellow, yellow goes away, and hopefully the blue sticks around, hopefully for Maxi, and that would be a score 3. So this is the last shot here. Fred Maxi, 7th ends, hoping to tie things up heading home. So it hit it slightly to the left and squirts through the house, not affecting the outcome of the end. So as a single point for Maxi, they're going to be down 2 without the hammer coming home. And we'll be back in just a moment when we continue with the 2024 MoPac Mixed Playdowns. I had the microphone on mute for that entire time until I turned the mic on, and then I have a coughing fit. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring you the final end action of regulation from this final semifinal game between Team Maxie and Murray. Murray is up 2 with the hammer coming home, as we see Timber Maroney deliver her second shot of the end, I believe. Maybe her first. Timber has been curling for 6 years. She had that 8-ender in 2019. This is going a little deep, and actually, I think Murray wants it to go through the house if he can. Doesn't want to provide Maxie any sort of backing or any place to hide rocks, which is Maxie's end game. He needs to find places to put stones to potentially steal 2 here, as we see Dan Baresh throw his second of 3 of this end because Team Maxie is playing as a 3-person squad. Their lead was not available this weekend. And again, Dan. His experience includes playing in 3 challenge round events in mixed doubles and men's qualifiers. So we see Kimber's second shot. So Maxie has 2 offset staggered center guards. One of them is touching the center line, which means that that rock cannot be moved off the center line by the opposing team until after the 5th rock at the end. It's part of the new no tick rule. This rock's going to go to the back of the house, kind of very similar to Kimber's first, although from a different line, different turn. Just as a reminder, someone in the chat asked, the winner of this game will advance to the finals to face Team Siggins, and that game is set at about 12:20, 12:30 or so, based on when the practice ends for both teams. The practice starts at noon, and so we had to include the time for the teams to practice. But if they don't do their draw shot challenge, then the game starts sooner than than I would expect, and that's why I say 12:20 to be on the safe side. And that's coming to you live on the MoPac YouTube channel. This is Dan's third shot here. I think looking to put up another guard, just based on where Maxie is parking himself. For the people that don't watch a lot of curling or haven't curled a lot, the skips will often follow the path of the stone and go to where they expect the stone to end up. And so Fred Maxey, when he went up to that guard zone area, was expecting the rock to end up close to where it actually ended up, which is a big chunky row of guards. And so this is the 6th rock to the end. And so Brandon Ellison is going to be asked to do some cleanup on aisle 3. And hits one of the blues through the house out of play. So thank you for the feedback on the house microphones. I thought it sounded pretty loud to me, but at least one person couldn't quite hear the conversation. So I'll keep that in mind as we continue our coverage. So now, kind of based on where Maxi is positioned, I think they want it to draw around those center guards. They're down 2, so they're, I think, opting to go into the house now. This is hanging out, though. It needs to sit down and curl about another 2 feet. As you see it curl right now, wow, got about 2.5 of those 3 feet that I think he needed. So this is Brandon's second here. It's going to keep clearing those guards, and this one is going to go through the house, misses those yellows in the back. And so now Maxie is down two. So I think he's going to put the guard back up, just kind of based on where he has the broom. I was going to time this rock, but I don't have my stopwatch on me. So looking for that guard that's just to the right of center, looking for a mid guard because he doesn't want to create an opportunity for Murray to run the stones, to run the guard back and create a double takeout situation, even though it is being sponsored by doubletakeout.com. So Murray is going to clear the guard, keep an open house. If he needs to, he wants to be able to just have a draw for his last. And this is Steph Larson's first, I believe. Does peel the guard, but it leaves the center, just kind of trading places, which is a movie I've never seen. Although I think it's Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. So Michelle Wagner gets set. She notes that she's been to nationals 10 times, but since 2013, she's been to 79 bonspiels with Dan Baresh. So, talking about the dynamic curling duo that they are, they've traveled tens of thousands of miles to almost 80 curling tournaments, which is, I would think, a pretty enviable record. As Michelle's looking to draw around that center-ish guard, and now they want it to be second shots. It's not buried, but I guess it's covered enough by that guard that Murray's not going to risk, uh, jamming or leading to a bad outcome. I think he wants as open a shot as possible. And this is Steph Larson's last here. Oh, it goes through. Wow. I don't know if Murray was necessarily expecting that. So we are to skip stones. Uh, Maxie is sitting one right now, but there are three Murray rocks around the edges, the perimeter of the house. Maxie needs to be sitting two here to have a chance to tie it. If he is sitting three, that's a bonus for him. I think they're looking to try to put that blue back up. Uh, really needs to be full 8 foot uh, buried to really be in play here. I just realized Maxie's wearing kind of a knee pad to help with his sliding. So this looks to be pretty close, especially since these rocks dig in, and it did dig in right there to the top 12. All is not lost, but Maxie's next stone needs to count for this game to stay alive. So I think now Sean Murray is going to draw in, make sure that they're shots, and really force Maxie to try something a little out of the blue to try and sit two with Maxie's last. Regardless of the outcome of this end, I think Massey played it as well as he could. Murray definitely wanted to try to keep a clean sheet, but Massey found those places to hide those stones to stay alive at the very least. So looking to draw, I think the best outcome would be to like park it right on top of the blue. Uh, Although it looks like they want it to be about top 4 foot. So now I think the only shot really that Maxi has is to do a heavy draw, hit the inside of that yellow and roll towards the center line and sit two that way. And that's where they have the broom. That is the shot. Uh, there really isn't any other shot. I mean, they could try to angle one of the blues back into the house, but that is a very tricky uh, proposition, especially given the situation that Maxi faces. And Maxi doesn't need a circus shot here. He just needs a solid shot that's on target with the right weight to just bump and roll. He doesn't need to really push that yellow too far. And he needs to make sure he hits it right on the inside to the left of the center. Fred Maxey here with his last shot without the hammer here in the eighth. Yelling for Dan to sweep, holding the line. So this is, I think, it's going to crash into the guard. And that's going to be it. It's going to be a score of 1 for Murray as they shake hands. The final is going to be 7-4 as Murray, the top two seeds, essentially kind of punch their ticket into the finals. Pretty exciting games, everyone. Uh, Again, the top two seeds came in today with the bye in the first round, took care of business in the second round, and so we are setting up um, a contest between the defending champions and another team that has that's definitely been in the mixed nationals mix before in terms of Skip Sean Murray. The table is set at 12:20 or so today. We are going to see Team Murray, the number one seed, take on Team number two, Team Siggins, in the grand finale of our mixed playdowns. Again, you can tune in at 12:20. Until then, we're going to sign off in just a moment. But before we do, just another reminder that our broadcast was brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Doubletakeout.com is a curling stat geeks haven throughout the curling season. Proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the site with numbers from major tournaments to see how your top team compares against the competition from around the world. That's available at doubletakeout.com. So until 12:20 today, folks, this has been your host, Ryan. Uh, for all of us here at San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, MoPac, and doubletakeout.com, this has been your host, Ryan, saying so long and good curling. I hope to see you at 12:20 Mountain Pacific time today.